Alright, for anyone who still does not believe that wedge patterns work, I'm going to prove something to you right in front of your very eyes. Alright, watch me do this right here, okay? So I have two charts right now. I've got a master chart open, what I call the higher time frame chart, and I've got a smaller time frame chart open, what I call the slave chart. So far so good, so nothing complicated. A master chart and a slave chart. And what I've done here is I've taken this master chart's trend line, okay, because we got an alert that the trend line broke. Here, let me draw that section right here. Right there was when the trend line broke to the upside, okay? And all I've done is I've taken this green master trend line, this big old green, and I've slapped it into the slave chart. Does this make sense, people? Okay? That's all I've done. This is nothing new, nothing revolutionary, but let me show you what is a game changer. Watch this. If I go to my list and I slap on the wedge breakout longs, okay, I was playing it to the long side today. We had a monstrosity of a sell-off today, and frankly speaking, guys, I'm a long-term bull on this market until proven otherwise. I have been playing it to the long side. I am trying to catch every single pullback because I'm expecting it to rally. But watch how I carefully control and minimize my risk by using wedges. Okay, watch this. All I do, can you guys see this? All I do is I slap on the wedge long edition. Watch me hit OK right now. I'm going to hit OK. Kaboom. You see that? Let me zoom in here. You see these yellow boxes right here? These are wedge pattern areas. These are areas in the chart where the system has identified, guys, a sequence of pivot points that look like this. Okay, what I call compression. Price is being squeezed and squeezed and squeezed, and we're looking for a violent breakout out of the top of the wedge. Makes sense? And those are represented to you visually and graphically in the form of these yellow boxes here. Okay, in fact, I'll just quickly outline for you the wedge. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is your wedge right there. And you don't see the actual trend line portions of the wedge because I felt it would be a little bit too messy, which is why I have just simply left the actual area where the price breaks out of the wedge. Does that make sense, guys? Same thing over here. Look at this one. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here you go. That's your wedge. And again, I don't really want to show these the top part and the bottom part of the wedge. It's not really relevant. I just want to show you the area where the wedge breaks out of the top of the wedge. Just like this, okay, just like this example here. Now watch, let me just go ahead and press the F button here to fit it back, okay? Now watch this, folks, moment of truth. Look at this, I'm gonna zoom out. I've shown you all the pieces of information, right? We have our slave chart, we've got our master drawing objects, we've got our wedge. Look at how the wedge just nailed a monstrosity of a rally. This is what I like to call, guys, an in-your-face rally, where anybody who's been trying to short the market got their face ripped off, right? And again, guys, this is what I really like about the wedge pattern. All right, let me zoom back in here, okay? You can see there's actually quite a few wedges here, all right? There's the first one that I highlighted. There's another one here. There's another one here. There's another one here. I mean, today was crazy, man. Every single wedge pattern seems like it worked. But what's the takeaway, guys, from watching this video and learning and educating yourself about wedge patterns, okay? So here is what I want you to take away from watching this video. Again, hope you've learned something, guys. All I try to do is help you guys educate yourselves on premium ways to trade and speculate in the market using simple and clean charts and very easy to understand strategies, all right? Hopefully after watching this video, I can convince you that you will never ever be going back to these BS Japanese candlestick, Bollinger Band, stochastic RSI type of charts, right? Because I'm a firm believer in keeping your charts simple like this. So let me get into the takeaways here, guys. These are some takeaways that I think you guys should really get rocking and rolling with today, because if you weren't trading this week, guys, I don't know when you're ever going to trade, right? We had a total of around 1,000 points in profit potential this week alone. And when I say this week, I mean just the last 3 days. Okay, market violently dropped and market violently rallied, and each and every trading session over the last 3 days, the opportunities were gigantic. I'm talking, like I said, 1,000 points. You can do the math, right? Do the math on 1,000 points times $20 a point. Do the math on your own, right? Obscene potential profits. Now here's what I want you to glean from watching this video on my wedge pattern add-on to the chart. Okay, and by the way, guys, if you want some information on the wedge patterns, put some details below. But number one, wedge patterns work great. In fact, I would say they're almost flawless with a higher time frame chart. What do I mean by that? Well, in order to set this up successfully and find amazing opportunities to trade, okay, you're going to need this. You're going to need a master chart set up on your computer. This takes 2 seconds to create a higher time frame, what I call master chart. Okay, and you're going to need the slave chart. This is the slave chart here, where all the action happens, the potential entries take place, etc. Right? And all you're really doing, guys, is you're combining the master trend line and you're merging it into the slave chart, which is this. You could kind of consider this a floating trend line, right? Because this is the slave chart. Makes sense? So when you actually integrate a higher time frame with the smaller time frame on the same symbol, guys, this will work on anything: futures, forex, stocks and options, crypto. For anyone that trades crypto, get in touch, man. I got some crazy stuff for you crypto traders. But anyway, so you get the idea on how it merges higher time frame and smaller time frame. But what I personally love about the wedge pattern, and I think you guys are going to love this too, is you can get super small stops, man. Super small stops. Let me show you what I mean by that. If I jump back over to the master chart, right, and I simply try to take a trade off of a trend line break, all right, nothing wrong with that, but if I try to physically take a trade right on this bar here where it broke the trend line, look at where my stop would have to go. 1 tick below the most recent swing low. Make sense? Guys, this is a 30-point stop. This is 100 ticks or 100 pips for you futures and forex traders. That's a lot, right? Now, check out what your stops would look like using a wedge within confluence of a master trend line. Okay? So here's the master trend line. We're above it. Great. Now we're looking for our wedges. Look at the stop here, folks. Entry happens there. The stop gets placed 1 tick below the swing low, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You understand what I'm saying? There you have it. Now that's only a 4-point stop using wedges on the exact same trade with respect to the master chart, right? So trading on a master chart, nothing wrong with that, but Jesus Christ, you're looking at a 30 to 40 point stop. The second you jump over to a smaller time frame chart, you integrate trend lines and wedge patterns, the same trade gives you a much, much better risk to reward profile. And boy, did it work like you would not believe today. Right, guys? So listen, in case you can't tell by my attitude here, I am just falling in love with wedge patterns. Remember, they have to be used within confluence of something else. And guys, if you want to see a one-on-one demo of these wedge patterns in action, any market, forex, futures, stocks, feel free to give me a phone call, a text message, or if you prefer, send an email or click the link below. And I'm happy to show you how to transform your trading using nothing more than a simple wedge.